All right, so every now and then I'll have a piece of wood around the yard or leaning up against the wall or someplace around the shop where I have to look at it for maybe a year or two before I start to realize what I want to do with it. This is a piece that came in. This is an old apple tree that a friend of mine had on his property. They cut it years ago and it was down over the bank, and he was mowing or something one day and looked at it and said, man, I got to bring that to Bill and see if he can do something with it. Well, I saw it and I wasn't sure what I could do with it, but I figured if I looked at it long enough, I could figure it out. So we're actually going to start getting this thing cleaned up. We're going to run it through the kiln. We're going to get it all, the inside of it all, and I'm going to build something really cool out of it. Stay tuned. We're going to bring this one all the way through and make use of it.
Okay, so now it was on to the dirty work. I had to get this thing cleaned out. I had to get all the rot and the nest and whatever was inside of this thing. It almost looked like a possum lived in it for a few years. Getting everything, all the nests out of it, and then it was onto the pressure washer. I had to get all the major bulkiness of the rot out of this thing so I could go in there later with a grinder and get it cleaned out. Once I was getting it cleaned out, I did see some ants and stuff in it, so I kind of knew it had to go into the kiln. I knew that before I even started on it. Just getting it cleaned up here, getting it ready to go in the kiln. We have two kilns. We actually have one here at the main shop, and we also have one up at the house. The one up at the house will actually sterilize the wood, which means it will take the wood up to 134 degrees for, they say 3 to 4 hours, but I need to keep it in there for at least a day or so, because a lot of these bugs that we're trying to kill are deep inside the wood, and it's almost like cooking a turkey. You know, you can get the outside hot real quick, but you need to cook the inside as well. So we let a lot of our reclaimed wood sit in the kiln, sometimes up to 4 to 5 days at 133, 34, 35 degrees, and make sure that anything inside that thing is dead. The last thing we want is a customer getting a piece of wood and in a new home or any home and coming back and telling me that they have bugs in it. So we bring it up here to the kiln and make sure that that doesn't happen. Put it in there, get all these guys killed, and take it out and start our project. So once we get it kiln dried, it's time to start grinding away, start getting all that loose punkiness inside this log out of there. And there was a lot of it. This was a heck of a crater inside this thing, but it's not even a log at this point. It's just a big hollow crater, but it was just such a cool piece. I couldn't let it go to waste. It had a lot of loose pieces on it, a lot of fragile stuff. And I was trying to figure out, did I want to do metal? How would I support that? And I had a good idea. Rhododendron trees in Virginia grow with a lot of curves and a lot of bends. So I figured I'd go to the woods and try to find me something cool that bent and use that.
So I'm looking for something with some curve in it, something like this, maybe something like that, but that's not a very big piece like I'm looking for. So I could definitely use this little guy here. I can use this piece out of this dead branch. And I obviously don't want to cut the tree down. I don't want to ruin the tree. I just want to sort of prune it. So I'll just go ahead and get a couple pieces off this one. And then I may have to go over, find another one. So. Yeah, I think I need a couple more of these curved ones, which this tree is not going to support. So we'll move on into the woods a little bit.
I like using rhododendron wood because it doesn't shrink and twist as it dries, so I could actually cut it green and use it right away. So I thought that was a perfect thing for this. I also had some cherry cookies that we had in our arsenal, and I was able to take them and sand them because at this point, I finally decided I'm going to make a plant stand. I'm going to make something that you can just lay on the ground, put some plants in it. It was so natural. It was just a cool piece of wood that needed to be something earthy. And I could picture this with some really cool plants in it that kind of grew out of all the different holes. Maybe put some peat moss in there, some river stone. I don't know, just something cool. I didn't think it was strong enough for a table base. I didn't want to waste it. And I thought the simple thing where this wouldn't have a lot of stress on it was a plant base. And I tell you, I thought it came out great. I thought it was like this prehistoric creature that just was amazing, and with the everything natural about it, the cookies, the rhododendron, the apple log, the plants, was just a beautiful piece. I'm so excited I was able to take this thing and save it and do something cool with it. Is it a $50,000 piece? Absolutely not. But it was something I could take, maybe take about 20 hours, get it all cleaned up, and have something like this. This was a fun project, but this next one takes things to a whole new level. Check it out.